What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Run with Jay channel. So today we're going to do a shoe review of the HOKA Carbon X2. So this is HOKA's latest release of their marathon or endurance racer. So we're going to test it out, see how the shoe is, and see how it compares to last year's version as well as other competitive shoes on the market. So if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your contribution and support. So let's get this review started. So as usual, we'll start out with the specs. So this shoe was released on pretty much New Year's of 2021, and this shoe costs $180 here in the US. It's got about a 5mm offset with a 32mm in the heel and about a 27 in the forefoot. And it also weighs at about 8.3 ounces for about an 8.5. So it hasn't really changed its weights compared to last year, maybe slightly lighter compared to the last year's model, which weighs around 8 point something as well. So this shoe is advertised as an endurance racer from HOKA, and you might have seen marketing for Jim Walmsley's 100-kilometer world record breaking attempt with this shoe recently. He came close, but he didn't break the world record. He did set a new US record, so which is incredible, and he did wear this shoe during that attempt. This shoe does come in a few colorways, so you have the red and the white foam colorway, and this is the blue, which is the most popular colorway from HOKA. Pretty much all of your shoes has this colorway, and then there's also a black and white version, and the women does get an extra color. I think that's like a darker blue version as well. So my regular running shoe size is 8.5, and I did get an 8.5 in this shoe size as well, but I feel like there's extra room where I could possibly go down as well. The shoe looks like it's a lot longer compared to the size that you get because of the design, but inside there's plenty of room for people. For your feet. Some people say it's a little bit too narrow, but in my opinion, it's fine. I had plenty of toe room in the front. It was very forgiving as well, and I felt like I could have even sized down to my true to size shoe size, which is 8, and still be okay. When the shoe came out of the box, I had to really adjust the laces to get that locked in feel when I put my feet in. So when I adjusted it in the beginning, it still felt kind of loose, so I had to really tighten the top part to get that locked in feel. And after I did that, it felt much more comfortable, so just keep that in mind. So this shoe is made up of a few important components. You have the engineered mesh upper here, which is nice and breathable and lightweight. Also on the tongue, there's a very thin layered tongue with a reflective material on top, which is pretty neat for nighttime. On the midsole, you have the Pro Fly foam, which is Hoka's bread and butter foam. It's very soft, responsive, and very cushioned. What Hoka shoes are known for. On the bottom, you have also more foam, which is like rubberized EVA foam on the bottom. So it's not actual rubber. So it's more or less foam on here. Different from like the Rocket X, which has actual rubber. And sandwiched in between the two foams, you have the carbon fiber plate, which gives you that responsiveness while running. And this year, in this version, it's more moved lower to on the bottom of the shoe, so you have more responsiveness cushion while your foot is running on the top. And also has a removable sock liner in the very thin sock liner that you can take out. Also the back here, you have the elf-like ear Achilles part to help you get your foot in easier, also to protect your Achilles while running and rubbing. And there's also a lot of padding within the collar area as well. So on the bottom of this shoe, it's basically foam, so durability might be a concern. From what a lot of people have said from testing the shoe, that this shoe does wear out pretty quickly, which is not a surprise for a shoe that has no rubber underneath but just foam. So just keep that in mind. So a few important details to know compared to last year's model. There's actually more of a higher ratio of soft foam compared to firmer foam. So in the last year's model, it was about 65% softer foam and 35% firm foam, and now that's changed to 80 and 20. As you can see, there's a lot more foam in the midsole area to give you even more cushion and responsiveness while running. So running in this was definitely a lot more comfortable, and as soon as I started running, you can definitely feel the foam, and it's just very Hoka-like for a lot of people that have ran in the Hokas. Also, again, they've moved the carbon fiber plate more lower to the bottom of the shoe, so you don't really feel that stiffness as much. You still do get the responsiveness from the shoe. It is very responsive. However, you get more comfort on the top of your shoe that's closer to your feet, which gives you're able to run longer without feeling any pain and things like that. They also took out the loop in the back of the shoe and replaced it with their elf ear design on the top. So I really kind of like this design. It's very easy to put your foot in, and also I didn't have any issues with it rubbing on my Achilles. So it was very comfortable in the collar area. So my first run with this shoe, I was very impressed with this shoe. Having tried the Rocket X and then this shoe, I feel like this is more of a like a cruiser shoe in my opinion, or however I think that was the best way to describe it. This is a shoe that you can kind of just cruise and run your pace for miles and miles, even past the marathon. And I can see why they advertise this shoe as an endurance racer. You have so much comfort and padding and cushion in this shoe with this huge stack of foam, and it definitely does that. And also the Meta Rocker design helps you transition every step smoothly, and it just seamlessly does that while you're running, especially on flatter surfaces. Maybe not so much if you're climbing, but on flat and downhill, you definitely feel that Meta Rocker just propelling you to go forward, and it helps you do almost helps you do a lot of the work for you. So it feels like you're automatically running by yourself in a way. One thing to note, the laces do seem a little bit too long for me, and I did have this issue as well with the Rocket X. For some reason, Hoka has these super long laces, and it's kind of annoying to have to hide them or find a way to so they're not flapping everywhere. But maybe it's just my foot, but I feel like the laces are a little bit too long. And also I had to adjust the tongue a lot and stop because the tongue would keep sliding down while running. So that was something else to keep in mind. Once I tied it up real tight, I guess that fixed the issue, but something to keep in mind. Also on the bottom of the foam, after even just one run, I could see some holes and dents from little tiny rocks already. So as other people said, with the durability of the shoe, that's something to look out for. People said even after like 50 or 100 kilometers run, the foam's already pretty much worn out on the bottoms. So having foam instead of rubber on the bottom definitely helps, makes the shoe wear out a lot more quickly, which is understandable. But other than that, the shoe is very comfortable. I can see anybody using this for like marathon training or even just using it for a marathon. For a racing option, I probably would go with other alternatives from other brands, but as a marathon trainer or a shoe for ultra marathon distance, this shoe is definitely a great choice for it. You could just run for miles and miles and not really feel any pains with all of the cushioning that this shoe provides. So it's and then it also seamlessly helps you run and go faster with the Meta Rocker design. So I was very impressed with the shoe. Had a great time testing it. It's very comfortable. It's quick. I do wish that the weight was a little bit lighter. At 8.4 ounces compared to maybe like the Alpha Fly, it's about an ounce heavier. So if you're running 40, 50, or 60 miles, all of that weight can add up and can make a difference in your overall time. So that's one thing I wish Hoka might be able to change in the future models. But this is definitely a great upgrade in design, and I liked how they moved the carbon fiber plate further down in the shoe, so you don't really feel the stiffness as well. Overall, the foam, the ProFly foam that Hoka has, is a little bit maybe more stiffer compared to like the Zoom X foam on Nike, but not by much. At this point, all of these companies have kind of figured it out what they need to do, for marathon racing shoes and how to adjust their foam. So a lot of the shoes that people are going to try out is going to be very similar in terms of feel, and it's going to depend on the individual to see which shoe that they would like going forward. So as testers, as runners trying out different types of shoes, you can only get so much from what people are telling you about the shoe. Nothing will compare to actually getting in that shoe and testing for yourself. Even if I tell you I like this shoe, you might not like it and you might hate it. So it's really up to personal preference. And the great thing with running shoes is that a lot of companies do offer great return policies even if you don't like it or you ran in them already. So that's a kind of a neat thing with this niche market for running shoes. So the Hoka, similar to last year's model, has a wide base on the forefoot, so it's very stable. I didn't have any issues with instability. I didn't have any issues with slipping as well. I ran on snow even just to test it out for the most part, and I was surprised how much traction I was able to get. Of course, it's not going to be the first choice I pick for running in heavy, torrential downpour or anything like that. But the overall ride of the shoe is very smooth. It felt like sometimes not even thinking about it, my legs are just moving because of this shoe. A super smooth ride. However, I do feel that it lacks a tiny little bit of the explosiveness that you might get with other foams. Maybe because the carbon fiber plates maybe a little bit more stiffer. But overall, I feel like it's just kind of cruiser shoe. I'm saying it's going to be great for endurance racing or long distances because of how comfortable it is, and it just helps transition your feet to want to go fast for longer distances. And if you're a type of person that likes to feel the ground while you're running, this shoe probably isn't for you. You're mostly just going to feel tons of foam on it, which some people really like because of the comfort. But some people, who are old school, really like to lower to the ground kind of feel, and you're not going to get it with this shoe, unfortunately. So overall, I really enjoyed testing this Carbon X2. This is a very nice shoe, gives you a very smooth ride, very comfortable, and this is definitely a shoe for endurance racing. You can wear it for marathons as well, but for anything lower than that, I'd probably go with alternative options. But if you're looking for a shoe that's very cushioned, very smooth ride, very comfortable for very long distances, then this shoe is definitely a terrific option for that. I feel like it lacks a tiny little bit of the explosiveness that you might get with other faster racers, and the weight is also a little bit heavier compared to alternative option. But nevertheless, this is a very comfortable shoe, a great upgrade and designed by Hoka, and I really enjoy this shoe. So if you guys are looking for an ultra marathon shoe, this shoe would probably be on the top of my list for that. Super comfortable, very smooth ride. Meta Rocker just completes it, and the carbon fiber plate this year, where it's moved lower to the bottom, definitely completes the entire package. And Hoka, has really done a great job with the Carbon X2. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have this shoe, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. If you guys have any other comments, feedback, or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next run.